Are you afraid of taking risks in your life because you're afraid of not actually being able to succeed? Well, watch this video to figure out what I did to break through that fear and how you can do it too.
For the rugged. Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price for y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice for y'all.
Alright, what's going on? It is Miguel. I'm coming at you live from my balcony, and I was in my room one day just chilling, staring at my roof, thinking about life, thinking about my past, and I randomly remembered something that I did. It was either when I was a sophomore or when I was a junior in college. It sounds like something I would have done when I was a junior. This is something that I did. So when I was just starting to get into business and marketing, I bought Ty Lopez's program. I started my LLC as a digital marketing agency, and I was running around Los Angeles trying my best to get a client, and I was failing miserably, and I'm just watching my bank account stay very low because like the jobs that I was doing wasn't working too well. Well, I mean, like, they're working well, but they're part-time jobs, like they're barely paying me anything. I'm still in school and I'm trying to do this business thing, and I'm watching as much motivational content as I possibly can just to keep myself in the right frame of mind so I don't just randomly give up. And there was a point where I started getting into Tim Ferriss a lot. I started listening to his podcast, 4 Hour Work Week. You should definitely check it out if you haven't listened to it at all. It's a pretty good podcast. I was listening to it, and when I listen to podcasts or watch people, one of the things that I look out for are things that people are doing, these successful people are doing, that I can mimic right now, whether it be different productivity things, books that they're reading, all sorts of things. Like, I just want to mimic their behaviors because I feel like those behaviors are what led them to success. It's not their brains half the time, it's the person that they are, the things that they are doing that is leading them to success. So I pay very close attention to that. And I was listening to a Tim Ferriss podcast, and he was I forgot which podcast it was, I'm sorry, because like I barely remembered the fact that I even did this like a week or two ago, let alone the name of which podcast episode it was, but I digress. So he was speaking to somebody, and he was talking about how he needed to break the fear inside of his mind that failing was the worst thing in the world. He needed to break that fear in his mind that, like, even if he failed, like, worst case scenario, it would not be that bad. So what he would do is he would minimize himself to only eating really shitty food. I think all he ate was like hot dogs and drink water and oatmeal, I think, also. And then he would sleep in a tent in his backyard, or he would sleep on the floor of his house. It smells delicious outside. Oh my God, it smells like some delicious food. It's distracting. All right, the second I heard that, I immediately stopped the podcast, and I was just like, whoa, like, I can't believe that this hugely successful person did that as they were coming up and continues to do that now. So I didn't think twice about it. I have this weird habit where I think it's a good thing. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm just gonna assume that it's a good thing, where when someone tells me, oh, this thing may be successful, I don't think twice about it. I just do it, and you guys are gonna hear another story about this weird habit that I have sort of soon, because I'm doing something this week. Probably already happened by the time this video is up, but I'm doing something soon this week that I'll talk about on this channel depending on the results that I have. So anyways, this is a habit that I have, so I immediately did it. I was just like, okay, cool, like, what will I do? What will I do? So I went to the store. I bought a bunch of top ramen. My dad already had some oatmeal. I asked him, I was like, hey Dad, can I eat the oatmeal that you have here? He was like, yeah, man, I don't care. Because he wasn't even really eating it. So I had a bunch of hot dogs, and I had not hot dogs. I hate hot dogs now. So I had a bunch of top ramen, and I had a bunch of oatmeal, and I was still going to school at the time. So here is exactly what I didn't tell my parents that I was doing this, which is the funny part. So I was just like, cool, I'm gonna do this. So I exactly what I would do. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this on Sunday. Sunday rolls around, I'm like, all right, cool. I have to wear the least amount of like I have no flashy clothes anymore, like I'm broke. This is the mindset I have to think of. I'm broke, I just lost everything. Like my business just tanked, I just lost everything. And I got to be able to take care of myself. All right, cool. I don't have a backyard to sleep in like Tim Ferriss does. And I don't think that sleeping on the floor was going to be nearly as effective. So I chose to sleep in the backseat of my car for a week. No bullshit. So those are the rules. I have to sleep in my back car for a week. The only time I'm allowed to go inside of my house is to take a shower or to get food or to use the microwave. Otherwise, I have to leave the house immediately. I grabbed blankets, put them in the backseat of my car, had my backpack, had a couple of changes of clothes. No, actually I kept my clothes in the room, so kept my clothes at the house, so I was able to change clothes at my house. But I had to sleep in the car, so if I would go into the house, it was, go in, take a shower, change clothes, and leave, go back to school. So here's how my day would basically go. I would go to school, go about my day. My school had a microwave, so I was eating my top ramen at school. I made sure to have enough to keep me at least like close to full, and then I would just basically stay at school virtually the whole day, since it's not like I could go back home. And then I would chill in my car, watch videos on my phone, and I would go to my car. I would sit inside of the parking lot until it got late, because I didn't want to sit in my parking lot and then have like people passing me by and stuff like that. So I would wait until it got late, and then I would drive back to school. I would sit in the backseat of my car, maybe watch videos for a little bit, turn them off, and then I would go to sleep in the backseat of my car, which was so freaking cold. It was so cold. I did it like during a time where it was cold and like the temperature drops and like your car gets really cold when it's cold outside. So like the temperature was just dropping. I had like 2 pairs of sweats on, 2 hoodies. That shit wasn't helping that much. 2 blankets. That shit wasn't helping that much. It was so freaking cold in this car. But I was like, whatever. I just need to make it through this week. I'm gonna do it. I got this. Mental toughness. Mental fucking toughness. So I would go to sleep in my car. When I would wake up, I would set my alarm for pretty early. Wake up, go inside of the house, take a shower, get changed, go in my car, and then drive back to school. I did this for a week straight. I made it the whole way through, and there's a couple of things that I learned. The first thing I learned is it actually was not that bad, other than the fact that my backseat was cold as fuck, and I couldn't imagine doing that anywhere other than like LA or Miami. It honestly wasn't that bad, and it wasn't that hard. The food was trash, and I can see like having to do that for an extended period of time starting to be detrimental to my health and my energy levels. But honestly, like sleeping in the backseat of my car, finding a place that like because now I don't have school, but finding a place that has Wi-Fi, working like that, like I can definitely see myself doing that if like I needed to, like if that was my only option. And I still had a job and all that stuff, so like I could see how I could pull that off. That was the first thing I realized from that, which is the main reason why Tim Ferriss was saying to do it. He was saying how like you show your brain that like worst case scenario, which that would be the worst case scenario, like you can handle it, like you're good, you're capable of being able to withstand that situation. And so that was the main thing that I taught my brain. The next thing that I got out of it was just mental toughness, because like sleeping in the backseat of my car when like I have a freaking house a few feet away from where I'm sleeping is not to the easiest thing in the world. Like it would have been so easy to be, oh fuck it, I'll just go inside. But I chose not to do that. I chose to stick it out, continue to sleep in my car, and continue to eat some bullshit ass food. Also, I did not tell anyone, so I was like kind of just like trying to avoid my parents that entire week. And it's funny because like at the end of the week when I finally like started sleeping back in my house, I remember my mom asking me, where have you been all week? And I was like, I don't know, I was just like kind of showing up late. She was like, oh, you were sleeping at someone else's house, huh? I guess she thought I was like staying over at some girl's house for the week, which I prefer her to think that other than the fact that I was just chilling sleeping in my car. And it's funny because both of them watch my videos, so they're probably gonna like figure that out now. I doubt they'll remember exactly when this was, but it's just funny. That is what I did. So I got a lot of benefit out of this little exercise, and I mean now I kind of just sleep on the floor now just because like it's actually better for your back, which I might make a video about later on. So I can't really do that. I don't have a car to sleep in, so maybe like I'll have to figure out some other thing, maybe just eat bullshit food for a week or something like that. I don't know. If you're in a position, a mental headspace where you are scared of taking certain risks, or you're just fearful in general about this business shit because you're just unsure of failing. You're scared of failing, basically. I would highly suggest you do this for a week. He suggested doing it for a week. I suggest you do the same. Just do it for a week. Pick 2 bullshit foods you're willing to eat. I chose ramen and oatmeal. Tim Ferriss did hot dogs and oatmeal. Either one of those works. Just 2 bullshit foods, and then sleep somewhere that you would most likely be sleeping if you found yourself in this situation. I think the reason he chose his floor was because if you like ended up in that situation, you might have to sleep on the floor of a friend's house or something like that. So I think that's why he did that. So I highly suggest you do that. It's getting cold as fuck out here, so I'm definitely about to end this video now so I can get inside to the warmth. I hope you got value out of this video. If you decide to do this practice, definitely hit me up on Instagram or leave a comment below and let me know what your experience was like. I would love to hear about it. If you would like more stories about things that I was doing to basically train my brain to be more tough as I was failing for a year and a half, I am more than happy to make videos about this stuff. Just subscribe and check those videos out. Like, and yeah, until next time, peace.